Yeah, okay. So, all right. Hi, guys, and welcome to this webinar where we will be introducing you to the world of cloud computing and give an overview of what Microsoft's cloud platform, Azure, looks like and what Azure basically is. So, let me first start by introducing you to today's speakers. First of all, myself. So, okay. So my name is Atharva Patwardhan and I am a final year computer engineering student studying in SKN College of Engineering, Pune. I am a beta Microsoft student ambassador and I am also a Microsoft certified professional in Microsoft Azure Fundamentals, which is AZ 900. And my common interests include I am very interested in mobile apps, mobile app development, web app development, virtual reality somewhat, gaming, and of course the cloud. So that's all for me. Azmi, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. My name is Azmi. I'm an Alpha student ambassador at Microsoft. I studied Masters in IT at Bournemouth University in the UK. I also run a full public cloud tech startup company, and I'm also a Microsoft certified professional in Microsoft 365, which covers all of the Microsoft cloud products. And I would like to invite Abhinav to come and introduce himself.
Abhinav, your mic is muted.
Hello everyone, I am audible. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Abhinav Singh. I am a final year computer science student of Srimati Kasibai Navle College of Engineering. Recently, I am Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. I am latest Alpha partner, and over to you, Atharva. That's all.
Okay, so let's look at today's agenda. What exactly is cloud computing and why cloud? These will be covered by me. Then the deployment and service models, cloud service responsibility will be covered by Abhinav, and everything after that will be covered by Azmi. So let's start. Okay, so my slides are visible, right? Somebody please tell me.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, cool. So what exactly is cloud computing? So the term cloud refers to a network or internet. So it is basically an interconnection of resources that is present at a remote location, and it is something that is deployed by a company or in some cases multiple companies in partnership with each other. So cloud computing mainly refers to manipulating, configuring, and accessing these applications online. This offers online data storage, infrastructure, application, and it is a combination of both hardware and software-based computing resources, which are delivered as a network service. So. Okay, I'm having some internet issues, so I'll just continue by disabling my video from here on. Okay. Okay, yeah. So what does this mean exactly? All these are very technical jargons that I just put in. So let's understand this as a real life example. Let's say that I'm a game developer who has created a very heavy and very graphics intensive multiplayer game, like for example PUBG or Fortnite. Now, if I want to deploy this game online, what I would usually need to do is I would have to go through the entire trouble of setting up high performance servers in my own place. So let's say that I bought a server which can handle at most 100 players at once. All everything looks good till now, but let's say that my game suddenly becomes more popular and now 200 players want to play the game. Now this is an issue, right? Because the server that I purchased only handles up to 100 players. So um, either I have to quit the game or I have to buy a new server. So let's say I buy two more servers for being on the safe side. And again, this every server can handle 100 players at once. So now I have paired these two servers with the server I had previously, and so my servers can now handle a total of 300 players at once. This is very good. But let's say that another competitive game like Valorant came out, and so every player that was playing my game suddenly jumps off to this new game Valorant, and now my game is obsolete. So let's say that only 50 people are playing my game right now. So what's happening here is that um, two of my servers are just sitting idle. They are just eating up electricity because uh, if it's just 50 players and my server can serve up to 300 players, then the two servers are basically just sitting idle. They are doing nothing and they are good for nothing for me right now. So that's not a good thing for my wallet, right? Besides, I can't even return the servers and get my money back. So in this scenario, this is where the cloud is very beneficial. This is where the cloud comes in as a savior kind of. And for the same game example, let's say if I deploy it on the cloud, any cloud, I can give it an initial value of, let's say, two servers that can hold 100 players each. So let's say I have given an initial deployment of a server that can handle 200 players. So, if in the future the number of players decreases or increases, I just have to toggle the initial value, and that's all I have to do. I don't have to pay an upfront cost for buying the new server or removing the old server. So I just have to deploy as many servers as I need, and that's it. I'll be billed accordingly, and that's it. So I'm basically just paying for what I'm using when I'm using it, and all of this I can just do by simply sitting at my home from my comfort zone from my computer while I'm drinking my tea. So that's how much power the cloud puts in your hand, and that's exactly what it means by deploying and managing on the go. So the cloud basically to sum up in one sentence, the cloud allows you to pay only for the resources that you need at the moment. You don't need to invest a huge amount upfront and then cry later if it doesn't pay up, right? So moving on, why cloud? First of all, it follows operational expenditure model or OpEx. This might sound like a jargon again, but it's really easy. This basically means that you are only paying for what you are operating. Kind of, if you ever went to a cyber cafe or an internet cafe or a gaming zone, this is the model that they use. So you don't pay for the entire PC, right? Like you don't pay the entire cost of the computer. You just pay for the hour. So this is the model, operational expenditure. The second point being it's cost effective. I don't think there is any need to explain that. Third being it is scalable. Okay. So scalability means I can increase or decrease the resources or the amount of resources that I want as I need them. So that's what scalability means. Then it is reliable because it is available globally. And what it means by available globally, my friend Azmi will be covering this point later on. Then it is secure because the data centers where the cloud is deployed, the cloud actually there is a famous meme in the computing world that the cloud is just somebody else's computer. So in a way that is true because the cloud is actually an interconnected set of data centers that are placed tactically at various geographic locations. So it is a distributed system of a kind. So that's why it is also secure. And yeah, sorry, the security part. The main part is that these data centers are actually very guarded, very secure. They are protected 24/7 and have all kinds of crazy security measures inside the data centers itself. So the next part will be covered by my friend Abhinav. But before that, we also have an interesting surprise for you, all you attendees. One of my friends, Nishil Madani, is going to tell about a very interesting hackathon. So Nishil, are you here?
Yeah, yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, so I'll just share my screen. Yeah, Atharva, can you just confirm whether or not my screen is visible?
Yep. Your screen is
Yeah,
visible.
Yeah, it's all good.
yeah. So, hello everyone. Myself, Nishil Madani. I'm a second year student at Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore, and I'm a part of a very cool chapter which goes by the name IETVIT. So basically, because of this whole COVID situation, we are going to organize a hackathon which is going to be fully digital. And the Hackoff goes by the name, actually, the hackathon goes by the name Hackoff. Sorry, my bad. So I'll just brief you first about what a hackathon is. Some of you all if you all are not aware about what a hackathon is and what advantages you have if you attend a hackathon, so I'll just brief you. So basically a hackathon is a just a simple design sprint like event, often in which folks from other fields like a software engineer, a mechanical engineer, an electrical engineer, they all combine in a together in one place, and they try to encounter the problems that they face in the real world and present the solution in the most effortless way. So hackathon is all about presenting a solution, as I mentioned, in the most effortless way. So don't worry, you don't have to build some big product or something like that, which can go up in the industry as soon. But you just need to build a prototype which gives a reasonable solution to a problem that is existing around you. So now I'll come to what Hackoff is about. So Hackoff is going to take place on 12th and 13th December this year. So it is going to be a 48-hour long hackathon. It is going to be a continuous hackathon where we have uh, 6 tracks, such as which goes by data science, AI, IoT, robotics, blockchain, AR, VR, and if you feel that your project is a mix of suppose data science and AI along with IoT, so you can go for open innovation, so that you're not restricted to particular track, which many of us don't like to be. So for that, we've also have a open innovation track, and before that, we also have a program known as Campus Associate. So basically, if you apply for this program, you'll have to go through an interview. So we'll be just asking few questions like how you're. So there will be few basic questions you'll have to answer, and if our team members feel satisfied, you'll be passing as a Campus Associate, and yeah, so I'll just leave this aside. You can check what the Campus Associate program is about. uh, I'm pretty sure you'll be getting to know what this program is about. Others, moving on, we also have many cool AMAs. So AMAs are basically ask me anythings. So suppose if you are practicing a particular field like data science, and and if you want to get to know about answers from the industry specialists or some public figures who are inspiring people all over the world, and uh, their word just moves you from inside, right? So we are bringing such high profile people to our AMAs, where you can ask them questions and you can clear your doubts. Unfortunately, we just had our two AMAs done on data science and blockchain, but don't worry, you can find that on YouTube. And if you want to check any of our content, then I'll just post the link of the website, so you can always check. And yes, so just moving on, why Hackoff is different from other hackathons is we have companies such as Siemens and IBM. So you all know how big these companies are, and how like engineers like us, like they dream of working in these companies. So you can have a shot of that, because IBM and Siemens might be releasing their own problem statement. Basically, their own problem statement means that they'll be giving a particular question as in related to a real world problem, and if you are able to solve it according to their satisfaction, you may land up a internship. And getting an internship at IBM is like really very cool. And if you try to apply it from outside through a whole process of interviews, we all know how tough it is. So you can have a shot at this. Yeah, so basically, this was all about Hackoff. I'm sure you might not feel that all of your questions are answered. So don't worry. Atharva is one of the campus associate. You can directly contact him. If you can contact him, if you have his contact details, then you can contact him about this hackathon, or else you can just join our Discord server. uh, you will be seeing people from all over the world, from the US, from the Ivy League colleges, from Australia, UK. So you'll be having students from all over the world, and of course, yes, India. So you'll get to interact with people, and our Discord is like currently there are so many interactions. People are trying to find teammates. They're trying to engage with people from like people who are like quite geographically apart from them. So yeah, this is quite cool. Like, I think you should all take this opportunity of this whole COVID situation, which is making hackathons going global. And lastly, if you all know about what MLH is, so basically Major League Hacking is the official student hackathon community, and all Ivy Leagues colleges partner with them in conducting that. So you can just check how MLH is cool also. Yeah, so this was from my side. If you have any other questions, then please be free to contact Atharva. And yeah, if you're interested, then please also apply for the campus associate program. I'm sure you'll have fun. uh, yeah, so thank you, Atharva. That was it from my side.
All right, thank you, Nidhi. So,
Yeah,
Nishant.
thank you,
So,
Atharva,
if
Abhinav, and Azmi for letting me speak.
yeah, sure.
I'm grateful. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll
So,
just
if
post the link of Hackoff in the chat, and you all can
yeah,
have a look if anyone want. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, cool, cool. So, if
Yeah.
anybody
Thank you.
has any, yeah, so if anybody has any more doubts related to this, you can put it in the chat and Nishil can answer it. So, okay,
Yeah.
my, yeah,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, moving on to the next topic, which is the cloud deployment models. Abhinav, can you chime in?
Hello, I am audible.
Yeah, yeah, and the slides are visible, right?
Yes, okay,
Okay, cool.
Yep.
okay, okay, okay. So now let us we go further and with deployment model of the cloud. Basically, there is a three type of the deployment model. Or firstly, we go through the deployment model. We have to know what is the deployment model. Basically, a model define where your data is stored, basically, and how your customer interact with. That's the basically of the cloud deployment model, and it's depends on how much of your own infrastructure you want to need to manage. And when we talk about the types of the deployment model, there is the private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. Firstly, we discuss about the advantages type of the deployment model type. Firstly, we talk about the basically what's the private cloud is. As per their name, private cloud we create a cloud environment in your own data center. An organization who lead it, there is a person who lead it. That's basically a concept of private cloud. Each type of the cloud deployment role, it's their advantage and disadvantages. When you create a private cloud, that's a very costly, and we have to build a great data centers. That's the biggest disadvantage of the private. What is the advantage? If you have your own data center, you have to build up any type of a security that's protect your data. And when you talk about the public cloud is something like we say local hardware to manage to keep up to date. Everything runs on your cloud provider's hardware. This is a third party, that's Azure and others or cloud provider that provide public clouds. And their advantage is that there is no responsibility of the user to how to manage and secure your data. They're total responsible for the provider who provide that cloud. That's the biggest advantage. And one of the Atharva talk about that's a pay as you service, where you have to pay how much that you use. That's the main benefits of the public. When we talk about the hybrid cloud is nothing but the mixture of the public cloud and private cloud, and it is the deployment model. Many of the organizations uses that, and there is the main benefit of that is there is the shared responsibility of data. Some responsibility will be taken out by the third party, and some of the responsibility will be taken out by the organization that's have their data center. When you go to the next slide, we'll talk about the service model of the cloud computing. Service model of the cloud computing is, as you know about the basic. Firstly, we talk about what the service provided by cloud computing. There is a few basic service that Atharva talks about. The main say in future cloud computing made computer may fly. That's the biggest thing we say, that computer may fly. That's a really cloud computing. They provide us sources like compute, like a virtual machine. That's a real, and storage, database, app service, web service, many more, approx 200 plus service provided by the cloud. And when we talk about that services, there is a main three types of IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Basically, it's known as in full form, that is software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. We talk about it's a firstly, we talk about the software as a service. As per their name, it is clear that software as a service is a software that is centrally hosted and managed for the end customer. It is usually based where one version of the application is used for all customers. Like you use Google Drive, like I use Microsoft PowerPoint, like I use Dropbox, Canva, Spotify, Facebook, and many more that you use. Basically, in this, the end user has the total responsibility. They program is like something dollars you pay and you use that. The user indebted services, that's known as a software as a service. Secondly, we talk about the platform as a service. Platform as a service provides an environment for building, testing, and deploying software application basically. Or basically it is used by the developer side. The goal of basically to help create an application quickly without managing the underlying infrastructure. If you are a developer or as a coder, you can feel their PaaS opportunity. What PaaS system provide you? There is example Heroku. Heroku is a software where you launch your website domains, and there is a name especially .com, Heroku.com, something like that they provide. That we have to code, and all things will be taken out by the Heroku. That's the biggest achievement of the PaaS service. You also say that in coming day, low code have the more demand. And now we go to the IaaS services. IaaS is like infrastructure as a service, or this is the main services that provided in cloud model. Infrastructure service is the category of cloud services. It's basically aims to give you the most control over the provided hardware that runs your, like virtual machines, storage, operating system. It an instant computing infrastructure and manage over the internet. And by this infrastructure of a service, we can load a virtual machine in your system. Suppose you have a 4 GB RAM and you have little bit lengthy to use system, then you can install a virtual machine in your system of 8 GB or a 16 GB and enjoy the system. That's they provided by the Azure services, cloud, AWS, Google cloud services. They are the main cloud services. During lockdown, that services exponentially because of their work from home process. All of the things will be on their servers, and all the Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS comes demanding highly. And as come there too much power, there is responsibility also. So we talk about the responsibility of the as, pass, and size. Next slide, Atharva. You see here, there is the we talk about the private, public, and hybrid cloud. Then we talk about the infrastructure platform as service. These are the by the cloud services. There is the on-premises. On-premises, we say that like a private cloud. When you as a private cloud, we have to build up all these things in our data center. That's the application, data, runtime. We take care of all the that you said on the. There is a color notation. I forget to tell you. The blue color notation is say that it is handled by the provider, and the light blue color so that it is handled by the user. So basically, when you talk about the private cloud or on-premises cloud, everything is taken care of by the provider, or sorry, everything is taken care of by the user who use it. Like any organization who use private cloud, then they have to take care of the all these things like application, data, runtime, operating system, and many more, server, storage, any more. Software as a service. This is the very close to the end user, and where end user has nothing to do. They have only pay the premium services and use, and all the problems and the technical issue taken care by the provider. Like you use Microsoft Offices, that's you pay the premium plan and you use it. But their data, their runtime, operating system, anything problem taken care by the provider, they provide our that services. In platform as a services, application and data taken care by the developer who can use it, who can develop that software. Like in Heroku, we can develop a website, then we have to take care of the code, application, and anything that. But runtime and anything, middleware, operating system taken care by that provider who provide that system. Like Heroku provide our runtime, operating system, and domain name, etc. server. Then they can be Heroku. But in infrastructure as a service, we have to 50-50 chances, 50% responsibility of the user and 50% responsibility of the third party that provided. Like in when you talk about the Azure cloud services, we have to take care of the application, data, runtime, and operating system. You can choose and customize operating system also. But their server problem, storage problem, networking problem, and as well as security problem will be taken care by the provider who provide that services. That's basically the responsibility of the cloud services. Next slide taken by my friend Azmi. Go ahead, Azmi. Over.
Thank you so much. So I'll be talking about Azure, which is Microsoft's cloud computing platform. Azure is a continually expanding set of cloud services that help organizations to meet their current and future business challenges. Azure gives you the freedom to build, manage, and deploy applications on a massive global network using your favorite tools and frameworks. So what can I do on Azure? Well, Azure provides over 100 services that enable you to do everything from running your existing application on a virtual machine to exploring new software paradigms such as intelligent bots and mixed reality. For example, Azure provides AI and machine learning services that can naturally communicate with users through vision, hearing, and speech. It also provides storage solutions that dynamically grow to accommodate massive amounts of data. Can you go to the next slide? Perfect. So in this screenshot represents the global infrastructure of Azure. The infrastructure is made up of data centers located around the globe. As you can see, when you use a service or create a resource such as an SQL database or virtual machine, you're using physical equipment in one or more of these locations. These specific data centers aren't exposed to users directly. Instead, Azure organizes them into regions. So a region is a geographical area on the planet that contains at least one, but potentially multiple data centers that are nearby and networked together with low latency network. Azure intelligently assigns and controls the resource within each region to ensure the workloads are properly balanced. Some services or VM features are only available in certain regions, such as specific VM sizes or storage types. There are also some global Azure services that don't quite require you to select a particular region, such as Azure Active Directory, Azure Traffic Manager, and Azure DNS. Availability zones are physically separated data centers within an Azure region. Each availability zone is made up of one or more data centers equipped with independent power, cooling, and networking capabilities. So if you look at the screenshot, a few examples of those are UK South, North Europe, Western Europe, the US, and Southern Asia. And finally, Azure Marketplace helps you connect with users, helps connect users with Microsoft partners, independent software vendors, and startups that are their solutions and services which are optimized to run on Azure. Azure Marketplace customers can find, try, purchase, and provision applications and services from hundreds of leading service providers. All solutions and services are certified to run on Azure. Can you go to the next slide? Perfect. So in the screenshot, as you can see, some of the solutions are provided by Microsoft Corporation, such as machine learning, text analytics, computer vision, but also by third-party providers such as Red Hat Enterprise, Azure Management Services, Ubuntu, and Linux servers. Cool. And finally, if you want to find out more information about Microsoft Azure, you can access Microsoft Learn, which is a free tool provided by Microsoft, and look for the Azure Fundamentals pathways. The pathway will go into more details about Azure and particular uses. It will test your practicality through Azure Sandbox, so you don't require to have a subscription, and will prepare you for the AZ900 exam to become a Microsoft certified professional. And that is all from me.
All right, thank you, Azmi, for that wonderful explanation of Azure, and Abhinav for the deployment models and service models. So also guys, since you all are attending this webinar right now, we also have one more surprise for you. We are going to give away some discounted coupons for Microsoft technical exams. So Parth sir can speak more about it. Parth sir.
Yes, Atharv, just I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Can I share my screen? Am I the
I
presenter?
think yeah, I think you should be able to.
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. I hope you are learning something new in the world of Azure cloud computing. That was a wonderful, explanation by Azmi, Atharva, and his team. Now, what I wanted to share is we are partnered with Microsoft. So we are coming up with a small activity where we will be sharing you some use cases. And on the basis of those Azure use cases, we'll be giving away some discounted Microsoft technical certification where you have AZ 900, you have data platform certification, you have certification on majorly on cloud computing. Now, what I wanted to share is, as Azmi was sharing that we have less overview about what are the different certification exam which can be offered, which you can plan in the coming future. So if you talk about AZ 900, this is quite famous. If you are part of LinkedIn family, you must be seeing a lot of people flaunting their certification. You can go through it. You can find out what are the course contents, what are the things along with this. Now, this is one discounted certification which we are offering. And if you go through online, you will find out this is roughly costing you around 3,600 rupees in Indian currency. But you don't have to pay this much amount because Certiport, which is partnered with Pearson for offering these exams in a lot of countries, is offering this exam from home. So you don't have to go to any Prometric center. You just have to prepare for this exam, and you just have to get this voucher almost in 40% discounted prices. And once you're prepared, we will be running up few preparation sessions also and on these topics. So these are the topics which you can go through it, that are absolutely basics, that covers about cloud, what is cloud, what they were discussing, cloud concepts, Azure services, and further you can see from this link, official link of Microsoft. Second thing which I wanted to share is if you go to this website, certiport.pearson.com, or maybe just certiport.com, you will find out there are a lot of certifications. Go to Microsoft, and there you can find out there is a whole bunch of certification by the name of Microsoft Technical Certifications. Now, this is a new category. And why I'm telling you this, because I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, so I appear all these exams almost every year. So this is the new part of certification based on AI, data science, and cloud computing. So if you really planning to go for any of these exams where you want to showcase that how much you know about these domains, these are those certifications on data platform, on Power Platform, a very good technology, and of course on Office 365 fundamentals, which Mr. Coben was referring to, and Azure fundamental. So just go through it. I'll just give you this link in the chat box, and we can take up your queries on this link. Yeah, so this is about the examination, about the objectives, and of course, if you are interested for it, we would be giving away you this certification for almost for 40% scholarship. Anyone can opt for it, and we can have it for you. Okay, so this was very short, very crisp, introduction to this Microsoft technical certification, of which AZ 900 is part of. So I'm sure you all are aware of other aspects of programming and cloud computing. So thank you very much for your time. Yeah. So that's it from my side. Atharva, if you want to know anything from me, or if anyone wants to know anything from me, I would be happy to answer those queries.
Okay, folks, if anybody has any questions related to the webinar itself or about the Microsoft certifications, you can ask them right now in the chat, and we'll try our best to answer them. Abhinav?
I am sharing my screen. Hello, all everyone. Know about the Microsoft Azure dashboard. Here we go to the Google and type Microsoft Azure, and we come at that. Here we talk about some navigation of the Azure. There is a I told before, there is a many services like virtual machine, app service, storage, SQL databases, and there is the main fundamental thing, that's a create a resources. When you create a resources is the main things in Azure services. And during that, we have to deploy some things like we have deploy a app services and web app services and one virtual machine also. It takes lots of time. So be patient, and many questions in that question will be coming from that section. So be concentrate on that topics. So firstly, we go through the navigation. Here in that part, we also create a resources section, and you can also create a resources from here. And in that there is a dashboard. This dashboard will be customizable. We can customize as per your. Then here we have to all resources sections, marketplaces, as Azmi discussed, marketplaces, and there are all the learning process things. There is a lot of resources here in that left side of the screen. That's a virtual machine, Azure Custom DB, SQL database, function app, and many more. Approx 200 plus services provided by the Microsoft Azure. Now we have to create a new resources to show you how to create a resources and how to deploy it. Firstly, we web app and we go to the sources and we create a new service. Create resources. We go to the Windows Server 216 data center. By using this, we go through the virtual machine. Okay, but firstly, when you create a resources, we have to do something, lot of that things that we show you here. I created a lot of resources here. These are my resources. One, I'm missing something. That my resource group. Okay, that's my resource group where we create a Azure webinar. Okay, we can go to.
Hello, Abhinav.
Yes.
Yeah, can you go a bit slow because there is a slight delay in the video.
Okay, sorry. Due to my net problem, ignore that.
Okay.
Okay. Rahul, that's a resource group come on the screen. Yes. Then we create a name of that resource group, something like that. We create a demo. We create a demo. Demo is taken by someone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's available. We can use any available center, but you use here East US because it's little bit not costly. Then we have to validation passed. That's the review system. And then we click to create. I have to create once more. We click to create. There is a notification bar above where you have to see go to resource group. One resource group is the created here. That's we create demo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see here. Okay. So firstly we create the go to that resources. We go to that resources. Okay. It's created 1, 2, 5, 6 now. Okay, when we created, we add services. Here you app web. We search from app web app. Sorry, web app. You see this web app. We go to the very easily interface, but we can go to create. No any rocket science here. We have to create the like we create web app 76. If it is available, yes, it is available. We select .NET and here we select central US and review and create. This is basically you have to review it. They provided a runtime stack net5. We have to encode region central US operating system Windows, and we have to literally create. And we see there in the notification, we have to see submitting deployment. It takes few times, and after then we get a resource group links.
Abhinav, I think I can continue with the virtual machine deployment because there is a slight delay in your video. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, cool. So basically this is the Microsoft Azure portal, which you can navigate to by this URL, portal.azure.com. And as Azmi talked, there is a marketplace over here that offers you hundreds and thousands of services, which are not all Microsoft, but they are also from partner companies. So this is basically the marketplace. Then talking about the resource groups. So resource groups, as I have put in the chat, are basically a group of what can you say, a cluster that a logical cluster of a kind that one can create in order to scale the resources that he or she wants to scale. So let's say, for example, I have deployed 2 virtual machines in a resource group. Now I want to replicate these 2 virtual machines. 2 is a bit of a less number, small number. Let's say I have created 20 virtual machines and I want to replicate the exact same configuration of all 20 of these virtual machines. And so doing it manually would take me literally hours, right? Because configuring an individual virtual machine will take up to 5 minutes at least. And doing that for large scale is not a feasible solution manually. So this is where resource groups come in handy. So let's just, I'll just show you how to create a virtual machine. So back here on the Azure portal, there's an option called as a virtual machine. That's where you click. And as, okay, so and you can create add, hit add. So this is the page or the thing that you see when you want to create a virtual machine. Again, the resource group, if there is an existing resource group, you can just put it in there. I'll just add it to this webinar demo RG. This was, or let's say, or let's create a new resource group for this one. What should we call the resource group? Resource group. Temporary RG. Okay. And the virtual machine name, we'll just name it temp. I know these are not nice names, but this is a demo. So region. So as if you remember, Azmi explained that there are various regions where Azure is deployed. Azure centers are deployed. So if you, why do we, why is there like an option to choose regions? So the main reason behind this is latency. If you are a computer or a technical person, you might know that geographical latency matters when you are doing corporate work. So let's say if I deploy a certain machine in Mumbai, I live in Pune and I deploy a virtual machine in Mumbai, then the time that it takes for data to pass between my computer to this virtual machine in Mumbai will be much lesser than a virtual machine that I have created, let's say in East US or Central US or somewhere between that. So that this concept of passing of the data passing through geographical locations is called as latency, to put it mildly. I know it's not the actual definition, but it's the closest I can come to. So region, yeah. Again, region-wise, the price will fluctuate because of the local cost of living and all everything, the factors that are enabling that region. So I think this East US and East US 2 are the most cheap regions in Azure. So let's say I choose Australia East. So you can see the price over here. It's loading. So you can see that the price over here is 10,000 rupees per month, roughly. So, and at the same time, if I choose East US, it drops down to 8,000 rupees per month. So this is exactly what region means. So image, the image means the operating system that I want to deploy on the virtual machine. Let's go with Windows Server 2019 and Azure Spot instanced. Okay, default. And let's see all the sizes that are available. So these are all the options that Azure provides you with. These are all the virtual machines that you can deploy. So depending on your need, you can deploy a very fast or very basic machine. So I generally choose this B4MS, B4Ms, because this is a pretty middle level machine, I would call it. And let's just go with this and hit select. So this gives me 4 virtual CPUs and 16 gigabytes of memory. So I need to enter a username and a password. Let's say the username is username. And the password is, I think I should keep the password secret. Confirm password. Okay. And public inbound. Okay. Select inbound ports. These are the protocols through which the virtual machine will be connected to my computer, or my computer will be connected to the virtual machine. So RDP is by default enabled, which is the remote desktop protocol, if you have used it previously. HTTP, I'll just leave it at the default and go to next. So disks. So this option will provide you with any, like if you want an external storage, you can just use this option to create it. So by default, it is a premium SSD, and I'll leave it at that. If I want to create a new storage, attach a new separate storage, I can go here, create and attach a new disk. I do not want that, so I'll just cancel this. And next, networking. I think all the options from here, networking, management, and advanced, and tags, are pretty advanced options. So I don't think it's necessary to review them right now. So I'll just go to review. Now this review option is a very good feature in Azure, that it first checks whether you have the right balance, whether you have the right account to deploy this virtual machine. Let's say I had like, how many credits do I left? Okay, I have 7,000 credits remaining, and let's say that I just had 500 rupees of worth of credit, and the machine that I'm deploying is taking let's say 50 rupees, no, 500 rupees an hour. So the total credit balance that I have is being used on an hourly basis by this virtual machine. Then this feature will give me a warning, that the according warning that your credit is low, so it would be recommendable that you don't create a virtual machine right now, or first increase your credits and then do that. So yeah, that's basically it. And as you can see, this current virtual machine that I'm using, standard B4Ms, that is the one with the 4 virtual CPUs and 16 gigabytes of memory. This will cost me around 10.9 rupees, so 11 rupees per hour. So if you click here, you just see the pricing for all the VMs, and this is the official documentation by Azure, so it's reliable. And just a review of all the settings that I have configured, and I'll just have to hit create. I'll not hit create for the time being, because creation and deployment of a virtual machine generally takes somewhere around 5 to 7 minutes. So that's just basically how you create a virtual machine. I already have created a virtual machine over here. So this is the virtual machine. So as you can see, this is also deployed in East US, in the region East US. And this is my subscription idea. Azure subscriptions are something that you can learn on the official MS Learn platform. So I'll just try to connect this one using RDP. So it will just prompt me to download an RTP file, and let's click this. I think the username was this, and let's try logging into the machine. Okay, cool. So right now, my screen is still visible, right? Or did it switch the window?
No, it's all good. You can still see.
Okay, cool. So this is actually the virtual machine that I have deployed, Veronica. And if you would see, one of my friends who is also an MSP uses an ambassador uses this virtual machine kind of things to do his heavy programming stuff. Like, if anybody of you has a really weak machine and you can afford Azure, that is an ironical situation, but if it happens, this is your best shot of like using a virtual machine. So this has a Xeon Platinum 817M CPU. This would take me forever. I can't afford this CPU. So, and if you just check, okay, it looks like I forgot to install a browser in here. So let's see if this thing is still alive. Let's just check the internet connectivity, and this will be like booming. Okay, classic Internet Explorer. I don't think this will load like ever. So okay, it will not load. Damn it. I'll just shut this down. And meanwhile, if anybody has any doubts, you can put it in the chat.